drawing, design, and welcome to my channel. And this is episode 2 of my brand new series, Unexpected Color Combinations. Today we are playing with navy and peach, and that is one of the most beautiful color combinations you can find. Yes, it might not be that unusual, but we often forget about that color combination. So I have a very cool spread of things here in front of me, and we are gonna have a lot of fun today. What I decided to use is this brand new die set from Spellbinders called Fresh Picked Angel Trumpets. This is the latest release from Spellbinders, and I absolutely love this die set. I am going to link a video if you would wish to see. There's also a link down below to my blog, so you can see how I created a slimline card using this die set. Aside from this die set, I am also going to be using this Spellbinders wax seal stamp. This seal is from one of their previous wax seal club releases. There's also a link for wax seal clubs down below if you wish to sign up. And I am also going to teach you how to create your custom wax color. Also, we are going to do some ink blending here using Distress Oxide inks. And this awesome die set that I'm going to be using on and on in this series is from Altenew. And I also have some of the dies here from Spellbinders, and I'm also going to create a little sentiment here using hot foiling. So we do have a lot going on here. Let's dive in.
So the very first thing that I like to get out of the way is die cutting. I sped up this process. All that I'm doing is die cutting all the pieces that I'm going to be using in my projects. That way I don't have to go back to die cutting. This little machine that I am using here for die cutting is called the Mini Blossom, and it is from Altenew. I absolutely love this little die cutting machine. It is a time saver and it's always next to me. Next thing that I am also going to do is cut a bunch of these squares from one of the Spellbinders die sets. I'm gonna need a lot of them, and I'm gonna just continue on die cutting, and I will be back once all my die cuts are ready.
So I am back and my die cuts are all done, but what I wanted to show you is that I am using my grids on my craft mat to properly position and space my squares. So this is what I am actually doing. So as soon as I find my corners here, and they're about a quarter of an inch away from the edge, I am simply going to use that because I'm not really good at measuring. I do not want to do any math and subtract or multiply or divide or do whatever you want to do. Math is really not my thing. So instead of just eyeballing it, I wanted to actually do maybe like a very nice and precise division of these squares. Like I wanted them really in between, like very nicely and straight. So here we go. As you can see, I think that's pretty cool. I'm just gonna eyeball it here, and I'm gonna continue on gluing my squares just like that, simply and without any fuss. Just use your grid on your craft mat and just simply eyeball it. Or you can, of course, measure, but I am honestly trying to stay away from that. So here you go. You see, nicely spaced squares, and I'm gonna continue on doing my squares, and I'll be back shortly. And here we go. All my little flowers are attached. Look how cute they are. I absolutely love them. And here are the big flowers that we're gonna use for another card. And I have all ready. So here is what I am going to do next is I have my glimmer machine here, and I'm gonna turn it on because I wanna start doing some foiling here. So always use your grid here, right? I'm going to position this straight, and I'm gonna look at my die here, and I'm gonna put a little tape here. Make sure that is straight, all of that, right? And this is going to be very helpful. Okay, so I'm gonna attach that there, and I know that this is straight, and here is a little hinge. Next, I'm gonna put that foil right there that I previously cut. And next, I'm simply going to lay down my die on top of that. And I know for sure that everything is nice and straight. Next thing, I'm just going to use the same tape that I previously used. I'm going to just make sure that this is attached and it doesn't move. And next, like so, and I'm gonna wait for my machine to warm up. In the meantime, this is done. What I'm going to do is get these flowers. These are the little babies that I used, and I'm going to randomly just glue them inside these squares. Here we go. My machine is actually ready, and I'm just going to show you how to do foiling. One thing to keep in mind when it comes to this machine as well as the platinum machines is that platinum machines have cylinders that will put more pressure on the sides rather than the middle. So it will matter where you position your plates, and you always want the plate to face the actual platform. So I'm going to turn it this way. I'm going to put it in the middle because I don't want too much pressure. And you want to click the timer, put these two plates on top, and wait for that timer to stop flashing. Once that timer is done flashing, you want to put it through the die cutting machine. And once that's done, I'll come back with the results. Okay, and let's see how my plate cover. Be careful, this is still a little bit hot. That's why it's so cool to have this little tool. And let's carefully remove that. Let's see how it turned out. Beautiful. Oh, look at that. A little note to say thanks. I think that's absolutely perfect. Now I am going to continue on working on my card.
All I did here is randomly attached those little flowers to these squares that I created. And now I'm adding some foam tape to the backing of my sentiment. And I'm gonna attach it directly into the middle just to cover that little boo-boo that I made. And now I'm going to use my liquid adhesive. This is Art Glitter Glue to attach my card to the base, and the card is done. And here we are at the card number 2. This cardstock is by Nina, 110-pound cardstock, and it's Classic Crest Solid White. The inks that I'm using are from Altenio, Navy, and Peach Perfect. And the stencil is also from Altenio called Teeny Hearts. All I'm doing here is simple, straightforward stenciling. And the next thing what I am going to do is once I'm done with the navy color, I am moving to peach, but I am just going to move this stencil a little bit so it creates a beautiful pattern of 2 colors. Once that part is done, I am just going to arrange these flowers, just create a little cluster in the corner, and add some of these awesome jewels or crystals. They're from Pink Fresh Studio. I'm wondering about that glue showing. Don't worry about it because when it dries, this glue dries clear, so I won't have any issues at the end. And next is some ink blending. I'm using this Stress Oxides, and this is Tattered Rose and Chipped Sapphire. I figured that those are the perfect, actually, colors for my theme today. And when it comes to Distress Oxide blending, these inks are perfect for blending and they're actually meant for that. And I'm going to show you a couple of tricks that I normally use when it comes to blending these inks. The first and foremost that you have to do is protect your fingers. Otherwise, you will leave your fingerprints all over, and that's not what you want. You can use either some sticky notes, or you can use some scrap paper or copy paper, whatever works, but always protect your fingers. And next, I am just inking up my dauber here, starting off from the bottom up in circular motion. Now, it doesn't really matter if you are going to start off with a lighter color or darker color. I really don't find any difference whatsoever, but I started off with the lighter color ink and just cover a little bit more than half. Next, this is what I like to do. I do not switch my project. I simply switch hands, and I find that that's the best trick. Otherwise, you will have to clean your surface before you start ink blending. I find that this works for me. You can try it. If this doesn't work for you, make sure to clean that surface before you start blending that other color. But this is the trick. It's really working for me. Next, I'm just simply adding that color just like I did with the first one, gently and in a circular motion. Next, I'm going to take that lighter ink back again and go over those little navy spots just to make sure that my edges are smooth and even. and that is going to create that beautiful blend. Once these colors blend into the paper, you will see much better results and it'll look perfect. And here we are at the end of our video, saving the best for last. So I have my heating tools already on and warming up. And next thing, I'm going to show you how to create your own color wax seals. Now, I am using these pearlescent or iridescent little beads here, but you are more than welcome to use just plain white. The wax seal stamp that I'm using is from Spellbinders, and this is from one of their monthly clubs. It's actually called Wax Seal Club of the Month, and I will leave a link down below if you would wish to subscribe. Now, to change the color of my wax, I'm adding some pastels directly into the wax, and you can put as much or as little as you wish. That depends on intensity of your color, but this is how you are going to change that wax. Just wait for it to melt and simply mix with a silicone spatula. Next, I'm going to quickly show you how to successfully create inlays. For that, you are going to need a spatula and, of course, a heat gun. Make sure your wax seal stamp is nice and warm to the touch. Next, what you're going to do is pour your wax that you want it to be inlaid into the wax seal stamp and simply scrape. Next, what you're going to do is melt that wax again and scrape, melt and scrape until your wax is all completely gone. Once the stamp is cooled down, you can use a baby wipe to clean off your stamp, but this only comes when the wax stamp is completely cooled down. Next, you're going to pour the remaining wax or the next color wax and simply gently stamp. Wait for it to completely cool down and you are going to have fabulous results. And here we are at the end of the video. The only thing left to do is to attach these two pieces together. I'm using Art Glitter Glue liquid adhesive to attach these pieces together.
And all I'm going to do is actually take my beautiful wax seal stamp. I'm not going to do much. I am just going to attach it right there, like so. It doesn't need anything else. Now, you can put whatever you want here. If you want, you can change, maybe stencil over it, do whatever you want. But this is what I decided to do. Just simple, elegant, nothing else. And at the end, let me show you what I made for you today. So we have two beautiful cards and a tag with wax seals. Absolutely beautiful. I love this project. And this glue is dry and you can see how cool that is, and that detail just really makes the card. I love this color combination. I am crazy about it. Just everything looks so nice and polished, modern, and elegant. So that's it. Everything that I used today, it is linked down below. All the stuff. If you have any questions at all, feel free to ask. I'm here to help, and I love interacting with my viewers. If you have any suggestions for future videos, feel free to leave me a comment. I'm happy to test products that you are wondering about. And again, thank you for being here, for your support, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye-bye.